Hi everyone. So last time we did the discovery call prep with the Gemini Gem, where basically we uploaded a set of sales frameworks, and we're using this gem called RevEx as revenue expert coach to help us for a set of specific occasions and missions. And today we're going to follow with the objection handling prep. We know as salespeople, there's always pushback, there's always some objections about pricing, technology, competitions, etc. And sometimes those are like curveballs for salespeople. And if they're not prepared, well, you must actually lose the deal with that because you need confidence, you need accuracy, relevancy, and so on. So the more we prepare, the better it is. And in this case, we're using Gemini RevEx Gem to do that. So let's get into it directly. And basically, what we're seeing here is a very simple prompt, like I'm using this with my manager or director or whoever I'm working with, and the goal is to prep for an upcoming client call to handle the key objection they might come up with. So you're mentally preparing, but also you're not surprised with what they potentially can throw at you. So, for example, in this case, I'm selling a CRM and they already have HubSpot as an incumbent. And the goal here is basically how to navigate those pushbacks. For example, one of the recurring type of objection is, okay, yeah, HubSpot does that already in terms of parity around technical features and so on. The goal here in terms of a winning by design theme that the prospect will perceive this as a lower pain or a very limited impact from their current state, or they haven't literally fully grasped the uh, your differentiator in terms of how you position it before. So the goal here is literally to go through these objections from your tech seems more complex, your pricing is higher than HubSpot, etc., and find the right type of uh, input that would reassure them, but gives you also the leverage to take control of that conversation. So in this case, for example, HubSpot does that already. One, my coach in this case, RevEx, is telling me you don't just deny. You deepen the pain around how Spot does it and contrast it with your superior impact. How does that look like? Is a simple, direct dialogue. Thanks for the demo, but honestly, HubSpot already handles our CRM and marketing automation. What's the real difference here? These are very regular questions or objection that you can face as a sales representative. In this case, the proposal and the framing and the approach is quite smart. I appreciate that, and it's great you're leveraging HubSpot for those core functions. We often hear from companies similar to yours, and then you start dropping the key similar customers or references to give you that credibility. They found that while HubSpot provided the basic infrastructure, their real pain wasn't just having a CRM, but and then you refocus on that specific pain point, for example, getting a truly unified view of those interaction across all the functions. And then you follow up with a key question. How much time do your customer success managers spend today manually pulling data from different systems? The goal is to find that angle and that wedge to navigate into and reposition yourself as a superior solution. A second example is, hey, your tech seems more complex or less intuitive than HubSpot. In this case, you are going to reframe the complexity in terms of impact. That's a fair concern, and ease of use is critical. What you often find, especially with sales and marketing ops teams like yours, is that simplicity of some platform, while great for basic tasks, can actually limit your ability to achieve deeper impacts. And from there, what's the current impact of that manual effort on your team's bandwidth? So you really want to nail that down and measure it and quantify it. And this is really helpful because I might have missed this type of question when I was directly in that meeting. But being prepared, seeing it coming through this coaching session with the Gemini RevEx coach made it even more effective. And then, of course, pricing. Pricing is higher. What do you do? Same here. You move to a value-based trade instead of just getting scared and offering discounts right away and losing your margin. Basically, you try to find the common ground. I understand that the initial investment might seem higher when compared purely on a line item base. However, let's look at the impact we've discussed, and you move there. And then when we consider that impact, how does the investment of such amount compare to, and you come back to that impact. And even it goes further with the assumption of they're going to go with a push on a discount. So the goal here, you can see a number of objections, and it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to help you really get there. And then in terms of prep details and analysis is, okay, how can I confidently anticipate those objections? What can I do? And what actions can I take to really become ready with the storytelling structure and even the script that you can use confidently. And this is the second use case. And then we're gonna find in the next episode a third one that we'll share very soon around how to leverage Gemini on a sales cycle, sales coaching, and your sales pipeline. See you soon.